Guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing some more ranked. This draft was pretty bad. I'm pretty sure Fear My Mortis has been on my team and thrown a couple games at this point. So I kind of just wrote this one off as a loss as soon as I saw this. We went with a Barley second pick into B and Bo, and I think a first pick Stu, and our teammate took a last pick Mortis. We do take down the Stu, and things are looking a bit better. There are the mines, but unfortunately, I kind of troll and go down there. I didn't expect kind of to go down there, but our team is still holding it up pretty good. Enemies are healing up, but we are also healing up. Bo has hypercharge. We kind of need the Mortis to clear those. Instead, he goes down, but we do trade for the Stew. Unfortunately, our Squeak goes down. We kind of need zone time, but we do get taken down by the Bow and the B pinch. Mortis gets deleted, feeding more supers. And Squeak is getting some nice value, kind of keeping them off. Stu no longer has a super, so now I can kind of outplay and push him back. Somehow Mortis dies to the mines when he could easily dash out. We thankfully take out the Stu. He's a lot easier to take out without his super. And we honestly just look to hold and keep them off zone here. Unfortunately, our teammate does go down. We get some value, lots of shots off on the Stew. But unfortunately, it's a 1v3 and our teammates are gone. I go to trigger the mines, but the Mortis is getting tapped by the Bow here, not really providing much pressure. And we do get our heal, and we manage to push them back a little bit, but the Mortis goes down like instantly. So things are looking pretty bad here. We honestly should super for zone control here and split them up, but the reason why we didn't was because it looks like we had our hypercharge. Unfortunately, we do take it down by the Bow mines. Looks like he took the other gadget. And unfortunately, the Stew does come back to pinch us. Things aren't looking good. They're up by too much, and we struggle to hold zone time with our comp. So things are looking pretty bad. We don't even manage to kind of secure one kill there. The entire enemy team is up. And Mortis comes in to, die one final time before we lose the first game. Let's head into the next one. Alright guys, here we are in the next one. Hopefully we can win one game with Fear My Mortis guy on my team. He's been in a couple of my games, haven't won with him yet. It'd be nice to grab a win here. Unfortunately, Stu does get a super and break open the walls. Not ideal because we kind of need those walls for better control. Kind of missing a few too many shots here. Not ideal. Go for the heal to keep our teammates nice and healthy. And Stu does kind of go down here. We have good control. Squeak gets a nice gadget and probably manages to take out the Bow here, but he actually misses his final shot. We kind of hold control and we look to get the heal as well. We're in a pretty good spot. Our team just kind of needs to not feed as much. Unfortunately, I do trade with the B. That was a pretty terrible trade. I should have definitely won that, I think, there. And the Mortis goes for a trade onto the Stew. Squeak is doing nice jobs dodging. He's holding control of the left side, doing great. And we're also pushing them back. We look for a heal. And our Mortis gets the kill. Our mines go off on the Squeak, but we manage to clean up. And our Squeak actually goes down. And I look to go back to hold some more zone time. Unfortunately, Hypercharge Bow is coming in, and he also did put down his supers. I'm not sure if Squeak is aware, so I look to walk up and trigger one. But that allows the Stew to get his super, which kind of makes it more annoying for us to play. Mortis is chilling in the back, goes in for the B, gets some decent value, but unfortunately I go down and can't capitalize on it. We are up though, so things are looking a lot better. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to push in this position. Stu kind of broke open the walls, which makes it much harder for me and the Mortis to play, and the B and Stu and Bo all perform a lot better in overtime. We look to go up, but unfortunately, Barley just can't really push in. A lot of throwers, they struggle to walk up unless they're a Juju. Mortis goes, gets some value, takes down the B. I look to heal him up and take down the Stew as well. But unfortunately, our Mortis is kind of chilling in the back. And he doesn't go for the hypercharge there, which probably could have won us the game. right then and there, but we do still have super, so things aren't looking too bad. But the mines, he did trigger them. I didn't realize they were there. Maybe I missed, maybe he put them some other time. But neither me or the Mortis knew, and now we're down. Things aren't looking great, and this is looking like game over. And we will lose the first game. Honestly, pretty terrible playing in draft. Yeah, Mortis, 5th pick. I don't think it was a move. It allowed kind of the Stu and B to get too much value off on us. Anyway, let's head into the next game. Alright guys, here we are into the next game. We went with a Take Mr. P Buster comp. They went with Hank, Angelo, Gene. We immediately get 4K'd by the Angelo. Not a great start. We mostly just don't want to be feeding this Gene super. And we don't want to be pushed back too far either because the Hank can get pressure. And our Buster gets hit a bit too hard. No reason for him to be getting hit and feeding supers like that. But we do look to change because it seems like our team is kind of being pushed back a bit too much. And we want to gain some more control on the left side. We do kind of get leaned against the Angelo. He can go for a Pierce, so we do want to be careful. Don't really want to be 4.2K'd by the Hank or 4K'd by the Angelo. Gene already has super, that's not really great, and it seems like our team is being pushed back. So I go up a bit to try to assist. Kind of a useless head, could have put down that head better. And now it looks like the Angelo goes for a pinch on me, so I look to shield. But our team is pretty good, so Buster does get the kill, Angelo goes down to be poisoned, and we clean things up. Very nice. Mr. P has hypercharge. Honestly, when Hank gets a super, I think they win in overtime. I don't know if he used it or if he had it in the end of the round, but that's just one thing to note. None of us really have the damage to kill a Hank. I put down the head to prevent getting 4K'd because I know I'll be getting another head this round. Mr. P also has his hypercharge turret up, so there's no need to do anything fancy, but unfortunately I do go down to the Angelo Pierce. Honestly, a bit of a troll. I think we didn't really need to be that aggressive to get our hypercharge, and should have definitely gone for a shield when we were low. But again, forgot Angelo had his Pierce, so kind of threw that round. This is still definitely winnable by our team though. They do have the hypercharge Mr. P turret. And Buster goes for an interesting shield, but he does successfully cancel the Hank shot. And unfortunately, the Mr. P, his hypercharge turret was taken out. He could have gone for a turret play at the end, but he did have hypercharge now, so it's probably a better play to save it. He puts it a bit more aggressively. I do like the placement because honestly we just kind of destroy them, so we should be pushing in a bit harder. Buster's just kind of hanging back. It seems like he has the opposite mentality. Maybe he's scared of the gene pull. I flash my super to prevent getting gene pulled, but just put it down anyway because I know I'll be getting some more. And they are walking up to pinch me. Really want to see some more playment by our Buster here. He kind of leaves me out to dry on the left side. And so things don't really look well. I hypercharge to kind of keep them low on the right side, but our team can't really capitalize on that, and so the Angelo does take me down in exchange. Buster gets the kill, but he also dies to the, it seems, Angelo, and Gene, thankfully, he's low. Mr. P gets the kill, and we do have our hypercharge. If the Mr. P can clutch this one up, he does get 4.2K'd, and he is getting low, and thankfully he does end up clutching up the round. Let's head into the next one. Alright guys, we're in the next one. Honestly, me and the Buster, I think, just need to stop trolling as much. Buster really played really poorly and left me out to dry at the end, and I also died to that Angelo Pierce. So both of the things, I think, if those two don't really happen and are worked on, we definitely have a much easier win this round. It seems like Angelo is kind of missing from battle, not sure where he is. Seems like he's back though. I do have him pushed up pretty far, but not really any kind of contribution for my team. And so it seems like they just want to hide in the back a bunch, and I am agreeable to that. So I just kind of hang back. We get the kill onto the Jean. Jean got a bit too aggressive and does end up going down. So this is looking for a free win. I just want to charge some hypercharge, and I want the Mr. P to charge his hypercharge too. It doesn't really matter if the Angelo gets a super, but Mr. P does go down there, makes the exact same mistake as I did the first round, and makes an easy kind of 3v2 into a harder 2v2. I get a charge and look to knock back the Hank, and he will go down to the poison. Little shot to the Mr. P to let him know not to do that. And we honestly just need to do the same thing again. It seems like our team really doesn't want to be aggressive. Angelo shot the wall. I think he might have been going for a Pierce. I thought the Jean would have been more aggressive there, so I hypercharged to kind of stay alive and get out of there. Turns out Jean was just hiding in the bushes too. Buster's feeding a bit too many shots. He really either needs to be aggressive and look for a pull, or hang back and do nothing. Instead of what he's doing right now, which is, getting hit a bunch, I shield to kind of knock him back, but the Hank does take us down. Again, this only happened because the Buster, he wasn't decisive, he didn't go in, he didn't stay back. He really needed to choose one of the two options, and unfortunately he did neither, which kind of allowed the Hank and Jean to push in, get supercharge, and end up taking us down. Mr. P, I think he's looking for some supercharge. It's a better play. Angelo's super doesn't really do too much. Won't one-shot us as long as I shield, and I don't know if it'll one-shot the Mr. P. Mr. P throws at me for some reason. This Buster definitely threw that round, but we still have a strong chance to win again here. I look to play a bit more aggressive and hold control. Again, the Buster again gets pulled here, not ideal, but he goes for a quick hypercharge, and Mr. P ends up helping him clean up. I don't really trust this Buster. We got pushed back too far, so I'm trying to be a bit more aggressive, but it's a little hard. Buster tanks the shot for me. I went for the shield in case he didn't, and now it's a 3v1, and it looks like we are going to take this. Very nice. Very solid. Well played to the Mr. P. Anyway guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.